Hello everyone, Mike here, and today I am going to be discussing my favorite anime protagonist. Now, this is not necessarily the best anime protagonist or the strongest or anything like that. This is just the one that I personally like the best. And I know it's going to be very divisive because the character does have a lot of mixed opinions. And that is Izuku Midoriya from My Hero Academia. And I can already hear people saying, what? You like him the best? With characters like Goku, Luffy, Naruto, you like Midoriya the best? He's a horrible main character. He's boring. He cries all the time. He doesn't have any character progression. Which, by the way, that last one, objectively wrong. But, I'll explain why I like Midoriya best. And there are a couple of reasons. The first of which being, I feel that Midoriya is the most human anime protagonist that we've had. And of course, I should specify, I'm talking a shonen action anime protagonist, because I mean, there are a lot of genres to, anime. But I mean, you look at characters like, for example, Goku. When we first see him, he's already really powerful, and he gets more so. Luffy, already pretty strong when we see him first, and he becomes more so. In a way, I'd say even Naruto. Yes, he's ostracized by the village, but at the start of the story, he already has the Nine-Tail in him, and he already has that power just waiting to come out. Midoriya, on the other hand, he is a complete blank slate. When we meet him, he has no powers, he has no fighting ability to speak of. All he has is a desire to be a hero. So we get to watch him go from nothing to powerful hero throughout the progression of the story. I think that makes him a lot more human than some of the other protagonists that we've seen. Now, the other main reason I personally like him is relatability. Everybody likes a character that they can relate to. And in my case with Midoriya, it actually goes a little beyond relating. Midoriya is practically me. I have a few examples. Midoriya is way too nice for his own good. Despite the way Bakugo treated him at the beginning of the series, he continued trying to be his friend and continued, in a way, looking up to him and wanting to get along with him, despite Bakugo just continually treating him like crap. I can relate to this. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, there was this kid that bullied me relentlessly. And I remember in 4th grade, something happened. I don't remember what, but I think he and some other kids were messing around or something. And he got hurt. And without any kind of provocation, I stepped in to defend him and to tell them, hey, you guys need to be more careful, and look what just happened. And he couldn't believe that after the way he treated me, I actually stood up for him. And I don't even really know why. It's just the way I was raised, that no matter how someone treats you, you still treat them well. And that doesn't mean be a doormat, but you still treat someone well, whether they deserve it or not. Another thing with Midoriya is that he cares more about other people's well-being than his own. Just for example, in the it's a tournament saga, but it was technically the school festival, when he's up against Todoroki, he is just like killing himself, but not to win the fight. He's doing it to get Todoroki to accept the fire side of himself as his and not his father's. I again can relate to this. I've never literally injured myself trying to help someone else, but I have on more than one occasion gone out of my way to help someone else, despite the fact that it would potentially be detrimental to my own well-being. Yeah, and it's in my nature that I want to help other people if I can, even if it's detrimental to myself. Deku has a real lack of confidence. Every time he accomplishes anything, he's never willing to accept that he accomplished it. It's always, well, I would never have done this if I hadn't gotten help from my friends, or if I hadn't gotten One for All from All Might, I would never been able to accomplish anything. And a lot of these things that he's accomplished were through help, but they were still his accomplishments. But he was never willing to accept that. And that is, again, very much me. I struggle a lot to acknowledge my own accomplishments without feeling like there's more to it than just me accomplishing something. Then there's the overly emotional side of Midoriya, and I will admit he does cry a lot in this series. I'm not quite as emotional as Deku, but excuse me, getting over a bit of a cold. But I can relate somewhat. I am a very emotional person, and I will admit it doesn't always take a lot to get tears to well up for me. I mean, hey, I'll be watching a movie and an emotional scene will come up and I'll start, tearing up. So I can definitely relate there, being very emotional and very emotionally driven. And then the other thing is his awkwardness with women. I'd like to be able to say that maybe there was some relatability of why I am as unsuccessful with women. I mean, heck, he's awkward about women, but he has them literally falling all over him. I may be able to relate to this anime protagonist, but I do not have anime protagonist powers to have women all over me like he does. Kind of wish I did. But, yeah, I really like just how much I can relate to Midoriya. How much of his personality is so much like my own. It's actually why when people talk about him having a terrible personality or a terrible character, I take it a little personal, because he's so much like me that when people say he's a terrible character or a terrible personality, it feels like they're saying that about me. And I can't agree with that, because he's human. And I think in some ways, yeah, people don't like that. Anime is supposed to be escapism. So I think when a character comes off too realistic or too human, people don't like it. And he is a realistic 14-year-old kid. And you can't even say he's not realistic, because he's me and I'm right here. I know not everyone will agree, and they don't have to. It's not like, again, I'm not saying he's the best anime protagonist. I'm just saying he's my favorite, and these were the reasons why. Well, that's all I've got on this one. So, until next time, thanks for being part of my geek world.